Good morning and afternoon and evening to everyone. Welcome back to the breakfast show. It is Friday, the best day of the week. The best day of the week. Welcome, everyone. Hello, chat. We have a couple of things to discuss. As always, we have some good news for the whole AI ecosystem, despite a bubble being called on a daily basis. We have some comments from Microsoft. We have some comments with regards to AMD as well. Applied Digital reported earnings yesterday after the market closed. Stock is up 30% before the open, and all the other little names are also up before the market open. How long will we go up every single day? 5, 10%? It's a very good question. It's a very good question. I will admit that a lot of the names, and Iron, for example, is quite stretched, right? It is quite stretched. So don't FOMO into these names. I will probably cover CleanSpark. When looking into it, CleanSpark is more into Bitcoin than HPC right now, but it does seem like the stock is re-rating a little bit in anticipation of them also pivoting towards AI cloud and HPC. It's also a smaller company compared to the others, but when you look at what they own, the amount of money that they have, well, actually, they didn't dilute shareholders for over a year. They're quite proud of that. And, well, maybe they will announce something pretty soon. So it's something that we might dive a little bit deeper in. If somebody here owns a CleanSpark, do let me know what you think about the company. So right now, this is the state of the market before the open. Okay, this is the state of the market before the open. Pretty good. This is the list. As always, Applied Digital up almost 30%. Iron up another 6%. Pre-market, Marvell up 3%. We have Rocket Lab up 6% as well. This thing also. I mean, I understand that they make rockets and they're supposed to go to space, but this thing literally goes to the moon on a daily basis. AST up 4%, Marvell 3, CoreWeave 2.2, Nebius 2.3, dLocal up 2, dLocal and Mercado Libre. I didn't release my Mercado Libre video yet, but it doesn't change much. But dLocal and Mercado Libre yesterday went up on that United States and Argentina news. Intel is up a little bit. Oscar is up. Who's down? Well, not much. Amazon 0.3 and Robinhood is basically flat right now. So Let's see if someone has questions already or some comments. I mean, your cost on Applied J5, 80 shares, it's still 80 shares, and that's still a lot of profits. I'll tell you that. That's still a lot of profits. Do Belgian people mind? Yes, we mind. We mind, and we are not. We are far, far from it. Far from it. So, you have Clean Spark. And okay, so my question is it only... that's Adriano in your picture, right? Is it only retail that assumes that some big HPC announcement is around the corner, or has someone from management or the company announced something that I did not see just yet? Let me know, Chris with Adriano in your picture. What happened with Argentina? So I'll pull that up. So we've talked a little bit about the 20 billion swap line that was announced last week, but yesterday Scott Bessent announced the following thing. Where is it? Treasury Secretary. Here it is. Here it is. So this was announced yesterday. They finalized the $20 billion currency swap framework with Argentina's central bank. The US Treasury is prepared immediately to take whatever exceptional measures are warranted to provide stability to the markets. The United States has also directly purchased Argentine pesos. President Trump will also meet with President Milei pretty soon. And so it's more about this announcement stabilizing the current fears around, I guess, Argentina and what's going on there, since dLocal and Mercado Libre operate in those markets. It's a good thing for them, because that was also one of the reasons why the stock went down a little bit over the last couple of days. I'll show you Mercado Libre, for example. Mercado Libre, as you can see, over the last couple of days, stock went down under the 200-day moving average. Now we have seen that recovery after yesterday's price movement. Stock went up 4.3%. And dLocal, here as well, you can see a nice green candle from yesterday, was up 5.5%. Whatever I mentioned in my upcoming video about Mercado Libre still stands. It's just that the stock did move 5% since. So, Applied Digital. I'll start off with that because that's the biggest move. It's up 30% pre-market. Roberto, I know, should have maybe kept the shares until after earnings. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So Applied Digital is up. These were basically the results from yesterday. Revenue, and for those that are interested, Daniil Medvedev just beat Diminar in the Shanghai Masters. So revenue was up 84% year over year. Those numbers right now are still very, very small. This is a company worth around, well, now it's going to be worth closer to $10 billion. But these were the key takeaways. So Applied Digital achieved a significant new lease agreement with CoreWeave for an additional 150 megawatts at Polaris Forge 1 campus, fully leasing the facility and bring the total anticipated contracted lease revenue for Polaris Forge 1 to approximately $11 billion over 15 years. Previously, that was, I believe we said $7 billion. We had $7 billion in 15 years. Now that's already up to $11 billion. To support this expansion and future growth, the company drew an initial $112.5 million from its $5 billion preferred equity facility with MAM, or Macquarie Asset Management, and secured $50 million in funding from that same, from MAM. Basically, that's the shorter version here, for the Polaris Forge 2 campus. Groundbreaking there is expected, I think, pretty soon, or has commenced actually. So that's capable of ultimately scaling to 1 gigawatt, with commence with initial 200 megawatts expected online in 2026. So that's pretty good. The guidance here that they gave is as follows. Applied Digital anticipates its first 100 megawatt facility at Polaris Forge 1 to be operational in calendar Q4 2025, so the next 2.5 months or so. The initial 200 megawatts of Polaris Forge 2 is expected to begin coming online in 26 and reach full capacity by 2027. The company projects an annualized net operating income run rate, it's a new metric here, of approximately $500 million once Polaris Forge 1 is fully operational, and aims for a $1 billion, same metric here, net operating income target within the next 5 years, with an aspiration to evolve into an AI-focused data center REIT. Future plans include pushing capacity beyond 1 gigawatt between 2028 and 2030. So still a long way to go. Still a long way to go. They did also say that their pipeline now exceeds 4 gigawatts, with more being evaluated. So that's pretty good. That was Applied Digital. And as you can see, this thing has also gone to the moon. Literally. I mean, if you were one of the lucky ones and you bought it in April, you would be up more than 10x. Not too bad. Not too bad, I would say. Roberto, thanks for the super chat yesterday. You YOLO'd yesterday into some Applied Digital calls after the live. Apologies for holding out. Insane. Well, congratulations. I guess this is your true birthday present. This is your true birthday presents. No specific news on CleanSpark other than Needham have increased. Correct. So right now, I assume, but everyone's assuming that there will be an HPC announcement coming soon, right? This is why I'm trying to look into it. But as you can see, this thing has also gone parabolic. Literally, last month, if you bought it last month, start of September, you would be up 134% right now. That's a pretty big move for an anticipated announcement. No news on the local, no news specifically on the local, but news on Argentina. Again, no news specifically on the company, just news on a country that they are operating in. That's it. At what price do you think it's a range to stop buying the local for long-term investors? I mean, I don't know. If the company continues to perform well, I don't think there is reasons to stop buying, right? I also, the big difference between a company like the local and companies like we've just seen, an Iron, for example, or a CleanSpark or whatnot, is that here with an Iron, all of this move is anticipation of something. With a D-Local, there is no move here yet. It still is a very good business, in my opinion, still undervalued. And so I think we still have time until I'll say, actually, maybe it's not worth buying shares anymore. I cannot tell you, $30. I don't know, because $30 might happen 3 months from now. And 3 months from now, we are getting, of course, the next earnings report, more comments, guidance. So things can change. Things can change. But it's still a tremendous company, small, fast growing, and profitable. Small, fast growing, and profitable. I bought the Applied Digital at 1075, and I've had the stop loss on since you sold. I'm glad it didn't trigger. I mean, I highly doubt it would have triggered it, right? Because you bought at 1075. I sold, what was it, 19 or 20 or so? Well, okay, since then it's almost a double. Almost a double. I doubled, and it still doubled afterwards. So not bad. Not bad, but congrats. Congratulations. I mean, a 3 point something X right now. Very nice. Very nice. I thought my volume was low pre-market, but I assume you talked about the about these stocks. Um, Iron still has a plausible PE ratio, one of the few profitable companies up to now. And yeah, I mean, profitable in certain metrics. Although I do think that Clean Spark is also one of those where you could maybe apply a PE, correct? Um, but still, Iron is worth $17 billion, right? ARR, this expected ARR metric for Q1 2026 is 500 million. So you are paying quite a big premium here, right? You are paying quite a big premium, or you are paying for a potential huge announcement, um, like a Nebius Microsoft deal. I still hold my Iron shares; they're up tremendously, but it's not like suddenly, oh, I will be buying more. No, now I wait. I did what I had to do. I got rewarded, and now I wait to see. Of course, it can come down for sure. It can. Everything can come down, but for now, I am not. I'm not in a rush to buy more. I'm just looking at maybe some other names like a Clean Spark, but then again, that has also moved quite a lot. Although, from what I've seen, Um, I'm yet to see any HPC announcement there, because they're really going all in on that Bitcoin mining and Bitcoin holding, actually, because they're not trading the Bitcoin, they're holding it. Um, so it's a bit different. It's a bit different. But yesterday we got this comment right here. Microsoft forecast ongoing data center constraints through 2026. OpenAI remains Microsoft's largest CPU customer on Azure. The company reportedly had to turn away some Azure customers due to limited capacity. And so this was, of course, a very positive comment, because again, it counters the other comment of, oh, we are at the top or nearing the top. Well, clearly that is not the case. Um, According to some, there is not really a GPU shortage, there is a shortage of data centers. And if there's a shortage of data centers, then of course you can start to think about all of these smaller players becoming, well, bigger and bigger, because one, smaller players, like literally $5 billion in market cap, $7 billion in market cap, if you suddenly get contracts for 10, $20 billion, the story and the profile of the company completely changes. The only issue right now is that I'm seeing a lot of re-rating of those stocks in anticipation of something being announced. The problem there is that what if nothing gets announced? Bam, stock will crash. That's the problem. That's the problem. We had some comments for AMD. So Bank of America has a buy rating and a $250 price target here. So earlier today, they hosted AMD CFO, an investor relations person as well, and they said the following thing. OpenAI's first gigawatt deployment remains on track to ship in the second half of 2026 on the MI450 series, racked weight towards Q4. So a little bit for Q3 next year, more Q4, which is good to know, because now we know that MI450 is second half of 26, and the MI400 will then probably be earlier, of course, like maybe early Q1, late Q1, early Q2, 2026. So that's good to know. AMD content will initially include GPUs, CPUs, and DPUs worth approximately $10 to $20 billion per gigawatt, including a contra revenue warrant impact of less than 5%. So they were talking about 6 gigawatts. Yeah, okay, so 6 gigawatts. So you do 6 times. So it's either 90 to $120 billion here as a whole. It's not bad. Not bad at all, I would say. Content could increase over time with average selling price expansions and potential inclusion of networking components. AMD will ship to and bill cloud service providers for the deployment, which could open doors for additional AMD based CSPs deployment, right? Because you go in, it's like a Trojan horse, but a good one. You go in, they like it. Ah, okay, suddenly we've got more orders. This is probably why the stock rose even further, because it literally opened the door for AMD. They stepped in, and there is a huge, huge potential of extra tens of billions of dollars per gigawatts of future orders from CSPs or from others. So pretty good commentary here on AMD. Right now, AMD pre-market, it's at it's basically flat, but it has, I mean, after the report, after the announcement, went up a lot, then closed the day down. But since then, we've gone up and up and up. $232 right now per share. Of course, all-time highs. Yes, it is stretched and it is overbought for sure. Um, Adam, good morning. Good morning from Vegas. Must be in an interesting life, I would say, living in Vegas. I mean, I assume you obviously live outside the strip. Um, would be interesting. You drop to, yeah, I mean, exactly. You can't catch them all. It's not like Nebius didn't perform well, right? It's not like Nebius didn't perform well. It performed extremely well. Performed extremely well. Short interest on Applied Digital is at, really? Huh. That's good to know, Fernando. Thanks for sharing that. That's great. 25%. 25% still after the huge increase of, I mean, the stock is up 100% over the last month. That's quite you gotta have the stomach to short something like that right now. If we, I mean, imagine you started shorting here, you probably be liquidated already, unless you really want to double down, and you're doubling down in the 20s, hoping for it to go down. We're talking about Applied Digital, but I think for CleanSpark, short interest was also quite high, and I think I saw a post that it increased by 3% yesterday. So yeah, I can understand if you're skeptical about it and you're like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. Okay, we should short it. But there are also some other candidates out there, I would say, that literally make no sense. I mean, Rigetti last week was at $30. It's at 47 today, and I don't think they're generating any extra dollars unless I've missed something. But it's another quantum computing player here. It's one that's worth $15.2 billion. $15.2 billion. What you're getting from that is, I'll tell you exactly what you're getting, $8 million in revenue. So $15 billion in market cap gets you $8 million in revenue. It makes total sense, ladies and gentlemen. That makes total sense. Yeah. No different than anywhere else you live here. Different for visitors. Yeah, but I assume since you live in a place where, well, actually no, because you live outside of like the how do you call it, centrum of Vegas attention. So yeah, okay, no, you're right. You're right. It's like asking someone, oh, New York, how is it? But it's the same. It's the same. But yeah, there are, I mean, I've been saying this for a while. Going into 2026, if you want to balance things out, there are definitely some short candidates or puts that can be quite lucrative to balance things out if the market does take a downturn or some sectors of the markets are taking a little breather. But yeah. I mean, I told you guys, Shift 4. Shift 4 I saw has a short interest of around 20%. Shift 4, a company that's expected to generate around $8 billion in free cash flow by fiscal 27. $1 billion fiscal 27 free cash flow. This is a company that's worth $7 billion. I don't know how it makes sense, but crazy. No, we're back. We're back. I wanted to test something for um, for Restream, so I had to go to the F12 preserve logs and see what causes these changes in stream quality and why it sometimes crashes. But we're back. We're back. Now I saved this activity, and we're good to go. And we're good to go. Now I can actually send them something so they can figure it out what the heck is going on here. But yeah, it's a bit annoying. It's a bit annoying, I have to admit. But hopefully they can now with that data they can do whatever they need. Anyways, what I was saying is that Shift 4 has a 20% or so short interest. Makes no sense. Makes no sense to me. Anyways, moving on to some other news. Moving on to some other news that came out. By the way, there was a Google Gemini event yesterday. I'll make a specific video about that to cover some of the groundbreaking things that they shared with us yesterday. Pretty crazy how fast they're growing. By the way, quick question here. There was a leaked picture that was released yesterday talking about OpenAI's top 30 customers by token consumption. Can you guess which company is at the number one? It's actually customers that generated, I think, over 1 trillion tokens. Can you guess who's number one? Write it down in the chat, and I'll tell you who's number one in a bit. Of course, some of you probably already seen the post, but anyways, doesn't matter. You can write it down, and I'll blow your mind. And I'll blow your mind. In the meantime, let's look at some analyst comments here. You hear I restarting an options channel. I don't know about you, but I never had an options channel. Never did options until I bought my Intel and PayPal options. So no, I might restart my sports channel, not options channel, sports. But no options channel. So let's see if some people got it correct. Well, yeah, a lot of you actually got it correct. So it is Duolingo. Duolingo sits at number one with a wide margin, actually. Sits at number one. Not that many famous companies actually on that list. Not that many famous companies. I'll show you. Where is it? Here. So this was one leaked post. Duolingo is number one. Then we've got some startup, Open Router, then Indeed, the HR website. Then we've got Salesforce, CodeRabbit, iSolutions, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, Duolingo sits here at numero uno. It's quite funny, right? Because Duolingo stocks went down because of ChatGPT, but Duolingo is actually an extreme user of ChatGPT. Your couchness, it's time for a Discord server for this community. I actually think there is a Couch Investor Discord, but it sucks because I never really paid attention to it. But I think there is one that exists. But if there will be one in the future, I'll probably ask someone to do it in a professional way, unless we don't really need any crazy things. Because I don't want it to be like an open server where suddenly we have bots and spammers and whatever coming in. I don't know how I'll do it. I don't know. We'll see. When the time comes, I'll ask some of you tech nerds how these things work. I seem not to be convinced, to put it mildly, correct. Or because you dislike. No, I don't dislike any of these companies. I think we are extremely far away from them being useful. Plus, I just look at the companies today and what they're expected to generate. These are tens of billions of dollars in market cap companies that generate nothing. Literally nothing. So that's why I don't understand why people still buy it today when there are many, many other better opportunities out there. Yeah, because I think there is now a community tab on YouTube that should work like maybe not like a Discord server, but I think it should. Everyone can write something there. Let me check. Let me check my own page. So I think, or maybe they changed it. Well, I think when you go to posts, you should be able to write stuff. Or maybe they did change it. Huh. Because for a moment, post changed into community or something like that, and you were able to write and post things. But yeah, I think I had also a Couch Investor thing on X, but I know not everybody is on X, so it is what it is. We'll see. We'll see what we will do in the future. So we've got here again NVIDIA, more positive news for NVIDIA. We have also some positive news for AMD regarding sales of chips. And that moved away. Anyways, doesn't matter. Pony AI. Pony AI has been going up, I think, more recently, but they still see here some upside, 47.5% upside. You can't comment on my post on X because it's verified only, correct? Because I hate the bots on X, but in the community, I do think that if you are in the community, it doesn't matter. You can write whatever you want on X if you're in someone's community. So that's why. What's my age? I'm 31. The portfolio that's public, it's now at $399,000, I think. He's 23. I wish. No, I'm 31. But the combined portfolio is closing in on a magical number. Speaking of quantum, IonQ is offering 16.5 million shares of common stock, 43 million Series B warrants, and 5 million pre-funded warrants in a public offering expected to raise approximately $2 billion. Again, I'm not surprised. Every single company that has seen its valuation skyrocket should take advantage of the situation. and raise as much money as possible. They should do it. When did I start investing? I first bought my stocks, which was VOO, Microsoft, and Coca Cola at the age of, well, when was it? 2016. So we're in 2025. So almost 10 years ago. Started with, I can tell you actually, 1,750 euros, I think, or something like that. Something like that. Kalshi, the non-betting markets, raises over $300 million at a $5 billion valuation. We've got here the Applied Digital stuff. So we're not interested in that. Ferrari, which we spoke yesterday, is getting some price target cuts right now across the board. I do think that it will work out quite well for Ferrari because I'm pretty sure that they're going to sell every uh, every car that they make. Every car that they make. United Health, Cantor Fitzgerald, your overweight rating price target $440. You know, with United Health, I should have I should have done the options strategy, but I was not in options yet. I think when I bought it because of the huge overreaction, because of the huge overreaction and the big upside you could have gotten already from when the stock was at 250, 260, and now we're at 370 or something like that. I have shares, but of course I could have gone up way faster. But okay, I am still in a learning phase when we talk about options. So I'm not going to be that greedy because so far it's been working out well. So we're good. How did you start your portfolio? Where did your initial capital come from? Well, like I said, it's 1,750 euros that I have in my bank account. I had worked summer jobs before. You get money for birthday and stuff like that. So I had money, well, that amount of money and a bit more because, of course, I wasn't going to invest everything um, in my bank account. But yeah, I had already worked a couple of summer jobs and part-time jobs as well. And then along the years, of course, you work, you get more money, you invest. Some investments work out much faster than you thought, like my Tesla ones. Bought it in August 2019, and yeah, you've seen what that stock has done since. So the timing was good. Got burned also along the way with some other stocks. It's normal. Um, Shift 4. Raymond James maintains strong buy, but cut the price target to $120 from 126. The analyst cites Global Blue weakness, but remains positive on long-term synergies. The Global Blue weakness is what we're seeing across the board from most analysts. Um, it's a company that they did acquire. It's one of their biggest, if not the biggest, acquisition yet. So they're saying that they've trimmed the price target by $6 or 4.8% for short-term global blue weakness, probably because of the weakness in travel that they might be seeing, maybe from Japan as well. So that's why. But all the rest, they are quite positive here. It's trading at 12 times fiscal year 26 free cash flow and 10 times fiscal 27. Actually, it's trading at a bit less than that, I think. Rocket Lab, they keep securing contracts. So Rocket Lab secures strategic launch contract with Japan JAXA for 2 missions. Over the last couple of days, we've had more announcements of other contracts. But of course, the big news for Rocket Lab um, is going to be on Neutron. For those just joining, I talked and covered the Applied Digital part towards the start of the stream. So just zip, rewind a little bit. Rewind a little bit. No, I did not ignore. I actually started talking about Applied Digital. So, and I also, well, Roberto did YOLO again yesterday. He didn't tell me anything, which very bad, but it's his birthday week, so he can do whatever he wants. you want to learn about options. Look, options are great when it works out, not great when it doesn't work out, right? Because it's a hell of a lot more risk. To me, it's 90% probably going to be still shares, purely shares in the portfolio, and the rest is maybe going to be some options from time to time. I know Amit has a good video on options. TJ, the wheel deal, has some good videos about the options. Um, you can find a lot of free material on options on YouTube. On YouTube. So rate cuts wise, Waller here said they're open to quarter point cuts at coming meetings. So if we go and look at the current expectation for the rate cuts, which will happen in 19 days, the probability of a rate cut sits at 94.6%. That number was 96.2% a week ago, and 73.9% a month ago. If we look at the December meeting, we are also very high here as a probability, talking about another 25 basis point cut, 83.4%. That was 81% a day ago, 86 a week ago, and 68.1 a month ago. So it seems like we're getting another 2 rate cuts this year in December and in October and in December. Let's see, what do we have here? Are you familiar with JD stock? I am familiar with JD stock, but it did not follow the moves of Alibaba or the other Chinese names. I assume maybe it's because the business is not performing as well. Alibaba did start to move a lot more because of the cloud and the AI story. Stefano, I assume you're talking about the portfolio. Yes, of course, I'm adding capital to the portfolio. Always, whenever that's available. So yeah, for sure, especially when when the market crashes. Alibaba, I still own Alibaba. It's been very good performing stock for me. Why do you think? What situation? You mean the good situation that we're in right now, or is there something I missed? Because Alibaba is still performing very well. I don't think it's overvalued at all. So here we have a commentary from Bernstein. They raised their price target. Of course, everybody's raising their price targets when the stock goes up. But here as well, focus here is on the cloud business. E-commerce share is stabilizing. One of the, I think the chairman of Alibaba was at the All In podcast, and he talked about the competition in China, talking about more specifically how TikTok is actually one of their largest competitors out there because of TikTok shops. People only think about Pinduoduo and such, but TikTok is one of the very, very big competitors for Alibaba. But it's good to see that Alibaba is stabilizing as a business right now, and it's good to see cloud actually reaccelerate and continue to accelerate every single quarter. So you're telling me Alibaba is down 10% today? Since the top. Yeah. No, I'm not worried. I mean, we've since, let's say, since the earnings, stock went up. What is it? 62%. So a little pullback is not bad. It's not bad. Buy more iron or wait for drop. Like I said before, I'm not buying more right now. I am okay with my position. I have 1,000 shares, so I'm okay with my position, and now I wait. I either wait for a pullback, or I'm waiting for an actual announcement that changes the profile of the company. Whether it's going to be an insane amount of new GPUs that coming online, or maybe a co-location deal. I don't know, something like that. Rocket Lab overvalued. You could say it's expensive. Yeah, no updates on PT. There has been a lot of announcements of electron contracts, and that's one of the reasons why the stock went up. Plus, we're getting quite close to something happening with Neutron, right? Because we are close to the end of the year, and we're supposed to have a Neutron a launch. And by the way, Logical Thoughts, thank you for the super chat. Same here. Thank you for a super chat. Thanks for content. Can you tell us more about the capital allocation between private and public and frequency of buying? When do you sell a company? I only buy public companies, right? Only buy um, public companies. You're asking maybe about the private and public portfolio, so the retirement portfolio with Meta, Amazon, Melly, Tesla, and Google is so we are back. We are back. Testing number two. Testing number two. Let's save this. Test studio restream number two. Okay. We are back. So, what I was saying is the selling part. Funny enough, funny enough, finished the Just Keep Buying book yesterday, and selling to me is only one if you want to um, reallocate your capital to something else. Maybe something just became a too big, too big for your portfolio because probably you made the right choice to buy it on time. Two, um, story completely changed for the good or probably for the bad. Then you change it. And to me, three is maybe it's a trade, but I make it quite clear if it's a trade when I buy it. A United Health is not something I want to keep for the long period of time. It's just there was an opportunity, I bought it, and that's it. But I don't really sell out of companies that frequent. I might take profits, but that's it. But that's it. Again, usually when you own good companies, um, you don't need to sell. You don't need to sell. You don't need to sell. But sometimes when, like I said with Peter Lynch example, you buy like 10 good stories. After sometimes maybe you only like 7 of the 10 stories, or maybe 3 of the 10 change and it's not such a good story anymore. So it changes. So you change. So you go from 10 to 7, and maybe then from 7 to 5, and then you keep the 5. Again, don't get married to stocks, right? You don't have to get married to stocks. So here's the Clean Spark note from Needham. Price target increased by 9.5%. The upside is 14.6%, maybe now a bit less with the pre-market action. So the analyst visited CleanSpark's mining sites. That's 60 megawatts in Jackson and Sanderville, 241 megawatts. Company is preparing for HPC expansion, targeting 50 megawatts in initial phase. And then 50 megawatts, $500 million in ARR from the Iron announcement. So I guess these are the assumptions that people will start to make. They've got a strong balance sheet with around $1.5 billion in Bitcoin supporting funding. They use it as collateral for loans, for example. HBC suitable sites at Norcross 22.5 megawatts and College Park 47 megawatts are noted. Focus remains on greenfield HPC projects. Now, the price target reflects new HPC opportunity, not previously modeled. The problem with this is that, again, they might have not have modeled it before, but it seems like the market has repriced it already. So it's interesting. And again, we're not talking about big numbers for now. It's 50 megawatts here, 22.5 megawatts there, but I think they have contracted a lot more than just 20 or 50 or so. We also have an Applied Digital price target range raised from 21 to 41 dollars, also from Needham, based on the commentary we've got from management. So that's good. An Oracle one. Serve Robotics stock went down because they announced a $100 million registered direct offering of common stock. Like I said, all of these small companies should take advantage of the super high stock price. We have here Bank of America. They reiterate underperform for HIMSS with a price target of 28%, $28 at 51% upside from where we're at right now. They're citing here quite a lot of weakness in the business in Q4 orders, revenue cut, and full year revenue has been lowered here as well. Qualcomm has been probed in China on monopoly allegations. So, I mean, if Qualcomm was a monopoly, I think the stock would have performed a bit better. I think the stock would have performed a bit better. I ignored your questions. No, I think I answered your question, no? Unless I missed one. Unless I missed... private public portfolio, fundamental change of portfolio management. I answered this, like I said. Private portfolio, a bit bigger. Meta, Amazon, Mercado Libre, Tesla, Google. So, or maybe I froze. Maybe I froze before. But no, I answered the buying and selling. I answered. But yeah, that's basically the difference between the public one and the private one. The retirement one is basically one that started a long time ago, and has bigger, more stable companies, let's say. So Qualcomm being a monopoly. I mean, if Qualcomm is being a monopoly, I would have assumed that the stock would have been much higher than what it was a long time ago, a very long time ago, because it's a monopoly usually performs extremely well. You might say, yeah, it's a monopoly maybe in phones and smartphones and things like that. Even that is questionable, I would say. Is questionable, I would say. Still, cheap company, pays a nice dividend. But yeah, I guess it had some headwinds when the smartphone market was a bit calmer. My pleasure. I don't know. Sometimes I don't notice when I freeze, so I just keep on talking until I actually see it on the screen. So I did not ignore your question. Just in my head, I answered. Qualcomm PE down to 16. Yeah, but historically the PE for Qualcomm has been extremely low. Has been extremely low. Okay, I'll ask my chat here again. What the heck is this Hive hype? about? Because I've seen it in my chat quite a lot. So what's the sell it to me? Sell Hive to me. You have a couple of minutes. You have 5 minutes until the markets open. Um, a lift wise lift down. Good question. I don't know. I haven't seen anything specific about the company. Maybe it's just the stock coming back down a little bit. This was an announcement from the Waymo partnership. I think, yeah, this was the Waymo partnership announcement. And now it's back down a little bit, but I don't think I've seen anything specific for Lyft. What I hear. Here it is. So this morning we had Senate passes AI chip exports limits on Nvidia AMD to China. AI chip makers Nvidia and AMD would have to ensure US companies get priority. So this is basically it. Senate passes bipartisan bill prioritizing US access to AI chips. Nvidia and AMD must serve US buyers before China. Provision added to annual defense policy bill. The bill aims to bolster competitiveness and limit China exports. US tech leaders say bill threatens innovation and competition. I don't know how, but okay. House version excludes exports control. Final bill is undecided. Elizabeth Warren says measures support small businesses. Yeah. Nvidia, US is the largest market, sees issue as non-existent. Well, Jensen made it quite clear that China is an extremely important market there as well. Policy group calls measure a major win for national security. So that's the news with regards to that. We have 3 minutes before the market open, and this is basically it. Logical talk. What color is your Bugatti? I used to like be Bugatti is like the fastest car in the world, blah blah blah. But I'm not really into it. My thing is Audi R8. That's the one. You missed my super chat. That is impossible. That is impossible because I know I was not frozen when I read your super chat and actually thanked you again for the super chat. This was it. I said I have my position. I'm not buying. I am waiting until there is maybe a drop or we see a big announcement happen. What's my view on Alibaba? Still like it, still hold it. Did take some profits. I think 2 weeks or a week ago, something like that. Thank you for the super chat again. And this time, I don't know, maybe you wanted to include a question there, but there is no question included. So I'll look for maybe for another comment from you, but I don't see it. So maybe you're just being nice, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Uber is also down. Uber is also down. No, Uber is not that much, right? Like it did try to go above the $100 mark here a couple of times, didn't work out. So it's down what 4% or so. Not such a big deal. Not such a big deal. Let's see. Plug, yeah. I remember Plug just because of the 2021 thing. Like this thing went to the moon. That was crazy. Crazy times. Where is Plug right now? $3.8. I mean, if we zoom out a couple of seconds before we go and open, look at this. Crazy. This thing was at 70, probably a split set or whatever happened. 74. That's crazy. Anyways, markets are about to open right now. So we are open, ladies and gentlemen. It is Friday. Ding, 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 ding. Bing, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bong. We are open on Friday, October don't even know which day it is. October 10th. October 10th. We have a lot more green than red for now on the list here. For those that are new, the heat map always takes a couple of extra seconds before we get the real picture. But we are open. We have barely anything really, really red. Zeta down zero point 0.5 or so. They said yesterday that they're still on track to meet the 2028 targets. So that was yesterday. But as of today, but as of today, we are green. So we have Applied Digital that's up 20%. Pre-market, we were up almost 30%, but of course, lower volume in pre-market action. Rocket Lab is crazy. Another 8% for Rocket Lab. Iron up or 7.7. Voila. The heat map has changed, neutralized everything. Rocket Lab 7.4%. Iron also up 6% on, I don't know, maybe Applied Digital. I don't know. I'm still waiting for the Hive elevator pitch because I am allowing you to pump up your stock in my chat, but at least explain to me what the heck is this thing all about. So please start typing, the cat gif. So Rocket Lab 8%, Iron 6%, Intel 3%, very nice. AST 2.8, CoreWeave 4%, Duolingo 2.3, Marvell 2.5, Nebius 1.8, Oscar almost 2%. So we're back here at around $21. I did buy a little bit of Oscar yesterday, another 50 shares or so. SoFi is up almost 2%. PayPal is up 1.1. With PayPal, as long as we stay above the 200-day, that's fine. But on the weekly, we have to go over $78. I don't know if that's possible or not, but we'll see for this week. But I don't think it will happen this week. But we are in a good momentum for PayPal stock. HIMS is up 1%, so that analyst note did not really change much. Reddit 0.6, Rubrik up 1.4. So we are making our way back up with Rubrik here. Palantir 0.2, Robinhood, Micron, and Nu basically flat. Same with Nvidia, AMD, Google up 0.5. We do have a little bit more red here. So the local 0.6 down, Amazon 0.5, Zeta 0.3, and the rest we don't really care much for is basically flat. And so we can go and let's look at Mercado Libre. Yeah, please don't say anything. please don't say anything. We don't want the jinx to happen here. So Mercado Libre, where are we? We are also down 0.5, but not such a big deal. Brookfield down 30. What? Which Brookfield? BAM or BN? Wow. Down 30 because of a stock split. Aha. So this is basically like an error, you're saying? Okay, makes sense. I was like, this is not possible, right? Yeah, because it says here that it's up 0.6%, so it might look crazy, but I guess they still have to adjust the charts. Sezzle, but small buy now pay later company, holding that 200-day moving average very, very well. I don't have to repeat it every single day, but I still like it. I don't own it, but I still like it. Dave is also still at the same price. Chime probably still 21. Yep, 21.5. Maybe it has found here its bottom at 20. Figma 70. Okay, went down a little bit yesterday. after it did close that gap from last earnings report. What happened here? Figma, yeah, we talked about that yesterday. They expanded the partnership with Google to bring Gen AI to designers. Two other companies also had partnerships with Google yesterday announced. One is a firm, buy now, pay later player, um, trying to get back above that 50-day moving average. And the other one is Klarna. So the chat, you were correct yesterday. It was Klarna and a firm. Klarna sits at 40. I still don't know why I didn't notice this thing at 35, but okay, it is what it is. Adobe, $347 also cannot go above that 50-day moving average just yet. Salesforce 240, 248. Okay, so this one did make its way above it. Aha, interesting. Interesting. We do have Dreamforce next week, so that might be interesting as well. Ray, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Make a video about how you are missing out. So again, I'm missing out on what? Because you have been spamming my comments with Hive, so at least explain what's up with Hive. Yeah, Elliot, I would like to know as well. What the heck? What's up with Hive? Cypher, Cypher mining. Cypher is up also 9% today, and this we can always stretch this out even more. If you bought this at the low in August, you would be up 310% for Cypher. But Cypher is one that did get a deal, correct? I think so, no? I think Cypher did get a deal. Hive. Yeah, okay, this one as well. If you bought same time as Cypher, you would be up 250. Underperforming Cypher. Not good. Not good. Long Cypher, Nebius Iron, and what is it? BI. Bit Farms. Aha. You're into farming here, I see. Bit Farms. So if you bought that one at the same time as Cypher, you would be up 280%. That's also crazy. Or if you bought it here at the end of September, you would have been up significantly as well. Any of these companies actually got a deal? Other than, okay, Cypher Fluid Stack, okay, that's one. But the other one, okay, Nebius is another. Iron, we are not getting one right now, but the other, the Hive and the Bit Farms of the lot, are they getting anything? And I am still not getting any actual answer on the Hive question. They are going to reach 25 exahashes by the end of October. Okay, congrats. I believe CleanSpark is at 50. Iron is also, I think, at 50 or close to it. Yeah. So what's so special about it? Again, if I'm not getting an answer other than the stock goes up, you're not going to convince me. Richard explained Hive a few moments ago. Okay, so Richard, let me see if I can find your comment. Hive opened up another 7%. Okay, but that's not the explanation. Would be great if I had like a search feature in chat. YouTube, Restream, anyone listening? Search feature in chat, because now I have to scroll all the way back to potentially not even finding the comment. Because Richard said that he told me what Hive is doing. Okay, so Cypher with Fluid Stack and Okay. Unfortunately, I am not seeing any comment for some reason. Either I'm blind or it's not showing up. A logical thought. Thank you for a super chat, and I am answering the question. BTBT worth it if I have BMNR. So BTBT is the one that has also 70% in white fiber, right? I got that correct now. Um, so it's a bit different. Right? BMNR is more focused on Ethereum, and BTBT is more into Bitcoin, if I remember correctly. Plus, you get the white fiber part of it, which is more on the HPC AI cloud business. So it's a bit different. It's a bit different. BMNR, you're playing the Tom Lee Ethereum tokenization part of the story that's being told. BTBT, you're playing the mining story, plus you get exposure to a white fiber for cloud, well, AI, cloud, HPC, whatever you want to call it these days. So that's the big difference. Depends um, what you want more than the other. I own BMNR just because of the story. I have a little bit. I'm not going to overexpose myself to that because I'm still skeptical of the overall thing. Control F, yeah, but the Control F doesn't work in here. I don't know why. I'm a Liverpool fan. I know. Uh, None of them are public companies, but there are rumors that Manchester United is for sale, and if sold, it would be at four. Wait, what? Or $4 billion? But didn't they just um, what's his name? Didn't they just buy into Manchester United? Ineos and what's his name? Radcliffe. I thought they bought like they're already planning on selling it, or they want to take it private because it's a publicly traded company. Um, it's a publicly traded company. Someone made a comment. It's the definition of a shitco. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Although some of you might think that I am Bruno Fernandes and I play for them, so I cannot speak like this. But no. Iron is now your biggest position, right? Nope, not at all. Not at all. Um, in the public portfolio, it's still SoFi with Nebius right behind it right now. Um, but Iron, well, yeah, you could say that Iron is a very big position overall. Uh, that's why I'm not buying right now. I am holding. What percent of the portfolio would it be too big? Probably if we get another like 50% increase, then I would probably start taking a lot of profits. Yeah. Or if something changes in the story, then maybe if the story changes, then I'm taking profits, of course, because it did, yeah. Dollar wise, it became quite big more recently, for sure. Um, Jim Ratcliffe, yeah. I thought that like the Ineos group, they just bought in last year or 2 years ago, and now they're willing to sell, or is it forgot their name, the Americans that are willing or looking to sell it all? Uh, why is Iron not getting a deal? First of all, it's because they are still too small when you look at their AI cloud business. For now, they are just starting. So it's possible that one of the companies are just waiting to see how that performs. Or two, there are talks, but return on investment or margins aren't good enough for them. Because co-location deals are different, right? Complete different margin profiles than if they do it themselves, if they scale their AI cloud business. But again, if they do have that much energy and the land and all of it, then I do think it's just a question of when it happens, not a question of if it happens. So who wants to buy Manchester United? Are we going to create here a GoFundMe and we're going to buy Manchester United? As a Chelsea fan, owning Manchester United would be quite funny. Would be quite funny. Um, so Richard, I don't know why I am not seeing your. I'm not seeing your comment on Hive. So if you would like to copy paste it, please do, because I scrolled and I scrolled and I scrolled, and unfortunately I didn't find anything. And unfortunately I didn't find anything. Vertif has gone up significantly. I mean, wow, an actual company up 230% since the April lows. But let's just look at what they did since they reported earnings. Because remember, they're one of the first companies that reported earnings after this whole tariff situation. And they had that slide that already talked about the different scenarios of the tariffs. And I was quite impressed with that. And they're up 108% since that. So congrats. Applied Digital is now up back to 29%, opened up at 20%. Short Manchester United. Yeah, it is quite crazy that since 2013 they have not won the league. But then again, Chelsea didn't win the league since Antonio Conte, but we did win the Champions League since then, and a couple of other things. So that is the difference. I would prefer we buy the other Micron. Yeah, probably more valuable. Probably more valuable. Uh, when are you looking to book? I think we still have time. Well, we have time, but I will reevaluate things after the earnings report. Because in my mind, this thing jumps after the next earnings report higher. So depending how fast we go up and we reach $90 or whatever, I'll change my plans. But there are, I mean, the June options I'm not touching. The January 27 ones I'm not touching either. It's purely about the March one and the very, very small January 26 ones that might be affected. I mean, I might just take profits after the earnings report. Ideally, we hit the $90 per share in December or maybe earlier. Hopefully earlier. The earlier the better. And then the fun starts, I guess. Then the fun starts. But I'll of course update you all accordingly. Yes, other companies have, but are they efficient? Well, yes, seems like it. CleanSpark, very efficient. Iron, very efficient. The thesis on high is the same as hyperscalers are flying, and let's gamble on smaller players, which can be okay. You see that explanation makes a little bit more sense. Hive has been the first company way before Iron where they shifted their focus from mining to okay. Iron went through 5 leadership changes. What do you mean? Iron went through 5 leadership changes. It's the co what? It's the co-CEOs are the founders of the company. What do you mean? It's the two brothers. So are you sure we're talking about the same company here? They are the only. You're talking about Iron here, correct? Because you know that Iron uses renewable energy and hydro as well. So are you sure you're talking about Hive and not Iron? Because you're describing Iron here. Nebius, I'm not touching. Nebius, I'm not touching. CoreWeave, despite Nebius being already on a roll here, but I'm not touching because I have a lot of confidence that this is $100 billion company in the making. Yes, I will tell you that if next week or whatever we're at $200 without any new news, then yes, I'll probably take some money off the table. Um, and then for CoreWeave, probably say the same thing. If for Go, if we're at 200, it's funny, also 200 by next month or what, and we don't really have that much news, then I'm also taking some profits off the table. It really depends on how fast with these companies you're going up. But for a Nebius, we are um, in my mind, we're still going to be $100 billion company in the future. So, but along the way, yes, we might suddenly go up super fast on no news, and I'll be like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. So we'll take some money off the table. Look at my comment, not Richard. I am looking at your comments. Your comments describe iron. Couch, I'm concerned that Intel has gone up so much just from news and momentum that the earnings report will cause a sell-off because the fundamentals have not changed yet. I agree. I agree. I know. I mean, we know that the quarter is not going to be a good one. It's about the comments given to us on the earnings call. Will we experience a crash? Probably not, because again, back at $20 or so, it was priced for bankruptcy, right? On Intel. Now, of course, we have almost doubled, but we've doubled on, okay, the 10% from the US government. Okay, it's a big jump here. But then the 2 billion SoftBank, 5 billion Nvidia, it does change things. It does change things. The balance sheet for the company is also looking much better right now, so that helps. We've had the 18A announcement yesterday, and so the fundamentally the business is, of course, it's still not in a good position, but I think we can all admit that. But the sentiment and story behind it has definitely changed. Um, it has definitely changed. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the thing is with my option is that I have the $30. Although I'm not gonna lie, I did say that if it hits 40, I will just sell it all and then jump back into the shares itself. And so I cannot suddenly change my mind right now. Although again, I have $30 January 2027, so I still have time. Um, I still have time. Iron went through name change, not leadership change. I mean, it's still Iris Energy, right? Iron is Iris Energy, unless they had something else before. Uh, does that mean that at 100 billion you trim, or again it's based on momentum? No, it's not based on momentum. It's based on business. Momentum would make me trim. Momentum of the stock would make me trim in the short run, not the long run. The long run is purely business. Like fundamentally, I think this can be $100 billion company because of what they're trying to build. And if it reaches 100 billion, I'm not saying that I will sell, because maybe they reach $100 billion because they're generating 20, $30 billion or so in revenue. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. What do you think of, what is this? SLNH. I'm trying to guess Saluna. I was going to say something similar, but still, what do I think of that? First of all, let's see what the heck that is. So SLNH. Let's see what they do and how big they are. Also, wow, a very small company. So Saluna Holdings is a developer and a builder of modular data center for cryptocurrency mining. $61 million in market cap. The heck? That's hmm? Revenue. $61 million in market cap, and they generated $27 million in revenue. That's not bad for the last 12 months, that is. Huh. Interesting. Is this also one of those companies that pivot from time to time? We'll see. Let's see what they do. Well, let's see what they reported. Let's see what they reported. Now I'm getting greedy. I mean, I'm not. I don't know. Is it greed to keep the? Cannot. Is it greed to keep the Intel options? I don't know. Maybe yes. Probably yes. Probably yes. Right? Because I think it's up. Let's see. Let's see. Because I know I'm up over 400% on the options for Intel. So is it greedy to be wanting a little bit more? Yeah, probably. So they experienced a decline in revenue due to external market factors, blah, blah, blah. Let's see if they are okay. So here we do have here some AI HPC co-locations talk. It is a very small company compared to all the rest. The growth strategy emphasizing expanding its renewable energy power data center project with a robust pipeline estimated at 2.8 gigawatts. Wow. Projected to support 300 to 400 megawatts of new digital infrastructure annually for the next 6 to 8 years. Huh. That is interesting. So this stock went from 50 cents to $2.05. It is. They signed a 3.3 megawatts. Yeah, but it's very, yeah, okay. It's very small, but this company is also tiny. It's also tiny. So interesting. I mean, this is becoming very tricky with all these smaller Bitcoin mining companies suddenly selling megawatts left, right, and center. That's crazy. So, question for all the options professionals out there. I am up 542% on Intel call options. I have a strike price of $30, but January 2027. Do I keep it? Do I sell and buy the shares? What to do? Because I already sold half. I already sold half 50% ago, but that was also up considerably. Because I know that, of course, the more we move closer to the expiry date, the bigger the hit on the options. Unless we continue to go up, of course. Question is, how much more can we go up? Sell, 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 sell a portion. I could again do the same thing and sell half and keep the rest. Leave it as a runner as long as you got your cap and extra profit already. Yeah, I mean, the initial investment has been taken out already. You have more options if you convert to shares. How good do you feel? Yeah, because yeah. So it is house money. Yeah, I know it is house money, but again, it's not like I'm up 5%. It's up 542%. It it is a lot. I mean, it's $30,000 for full context here. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Um, so I can sell and just buy shares. I think I can sell and just buy shares, not for this whole amount. And then if we go down, then I'll accumulate more and create a bigger position. Could be it. Because I know, again, I'm looking at this, I'm like, why do I need to be greedy? Like, even if it continues to go up, so I'm going to be up a little bit more. But then again, if I buy my shares, okay, I'll be up as well, but not as much. So yeah, it becomes a bit of a how much greed are we talking about here, right? um, how much greed are we talking about here? So no, I can just sell it and just go into the normal share and buy it. It's not a problem. Why buy Intel with that money? Uh, you know me, I'm an Intel bull. You know me, I'm Intel bull. No, but I could also just leave it in cash as a buffer, I guess, on my exposure to everything that's going on right now. So I am trending towards, yes, taking profits because I don't want to be a greedy a greedy MOFO. But yeah, it's been one hell of a ride, I have to say, covering Intel for all that time. Um, and then switching to options and suddenly seeing everything work out extremely well in just 2 months, 3 months time. So I still think Intel can become a huge company in the future, especially Intel Foundry, because there is momentum with the company, with Li Butan as CEO. Um, so yeah, but I also know that I've made profits for like, I don't know how many years in just holding the shares. So um, the right answer is sell the options and buy something else that is on. Yeah, I could use that money to keep increasing the Rubrik and Shift 4 position or buy more PayPal. um, I am the CEO of Grid. Sam, I will answer your question, of course. I'm the CEO of Grid, and I don't think you should hold. If earnings takes a while to materialize, the stock can return to normal fast, then the Theta will eat your options. I agree. I agree. Because even if earnings aren't that good, the shares can drop 10%. But if shares drop 10%, my options will be, of course, dropping a hell of a lot more. Um, a hell of a lot more. So I think we've reached a conclusion that I should take profits. I should just sell and buy shares. Okay. Half of it would be, I still have 22 contracts left, so half of it will be, of course, 11. So yeah, it's still quite a lot of money. Anyways, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. What do we have here? Your thoughts on Lululemon. Okay. Lululemon. Lululemon. Yeah, the Intel thing. I think I'll just, yeah, I think I'll sell and buy shares. Like sell the options, buy shares. Makes more sense right now. But then again, people will say, yeah, but you could have gone up more. You could have, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. Lululemon. Your thoughts on the short-term price target by 2020? Well, this end of the year, basically, because it's been consolidating for a long time. It's been consolidating for a month-ish. Right? It crashed after the last earnings report, which, let's face it, was really not a good one. It is down 60% from the highs of this year, actually. Look, I guess it's not the same as a Nike, because I think Lululemon is growing a bit faster than Nike. Yeah, it's growing a little bit faster, although EPS is expected to drop. It's a company worth $20.5 billion. Margin wise, it's still fine. I think it's still one of the better ones out there in this category. And that's the thing. I am not interested in this category, just like I'm not interested in Nike, although there might be a turnaround happening. So, same thing here. There might be a turnaround happening. I'm still seeing a lot of nice people going around with Lululemon yoga pants, although there are also some Alo yogas running around. But I don't know. Is it purely because you like this category, or you think that the stock crashed too much and this is like a value play right now and not AI related? I'm not interested in it. That's the thing. Um, because I do think, again, D local is down 2% again today. Still view this as a better opportunity, for example, despite the stock not being hit, but there still is quite a lot of value there to be found. Um, Shift 4, same thing there. PayPal is red. Ugh. So we have 2 red days for PayPal. Not good. Not good. After a couple of days of green in PayPal, 2 red days. Not good. But anyways, we're still above that 200-day moving average, so we're good. Um, what I think about Sam, that's basically my thoughts on it. I don't know what it can do until the end of December, because the next earnings report is, I think, because it's one that reports late, right? Yeah, it will report starting December, so they might maybe see already, or might tell us a little bit about the holiday period. We'll see, but it's not that interesting to me, despite the stock being down. Um, and by the way, thank you all for joining the stream, the new members, the super chats. Really appreciate everything, especially all the questions. I appreciate it all. Um, how could you explain the bad performance of Amazon? I actually did a specific video about Amazon, I think last week or so. The title is like, if I could own one company, it would be it. It's Amazon. How could I explain it? Simply because this is a company that reinvests all of its money in its business. It's a company that also, it's one of the few mega caps there, ultra mega caps, that does not buy back shares. It's a company that has the biggest cloud business, AWS, dollar wise. It has slowed down a little bit. I think we're going to see a reacceleration in AWS, and that's when the stock goes back up significantly. It's not as cheap as the Google, right? The Google, as as Google was right here, like all the way basically here. It's not as cheap as that, because Google is the most profitable one out there. But yes, I do think that Amazon is getting ready to make a move. I do think so. And yes, I do think that it's going to be the first company that would generate probably $1 trillion in revenue. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. And yeah, I think once AWS sees a reacceleration in growth, you're going to see free cash flow of the business again go back up significantly. Significantly. If you need buyback here, there is a fundamental problem, at least in the perception. No, I'm just saying that it's one of the only ones that did not buy back shares. Shares outstanding actually increased by about, well, on a compound annual growth rate, it's what was it, 1 point something, between 1 and 2% over the last 10 years, while all the rest are, of course, buying back a ton of shares, which of course helps with EPS. But essentially, if you purely look at free cash flow, Amazon is one of those businesses where, okay, the moment they suddenly they had like a huge amount of was it 40 billion or so in free cash flow in the last 12 months? I think that was last year. suddenly it goes away because whoop, they reinvest everything in the business. It's of course very different than all the rest, right? They have huge, okay, they have data center sites, but logistics, shipping, all of that, that's also a large part of their capex spending. PayPal is red because they don't want you to end the stream. Although when I did end the stream yesterday, I think it did recover a little bit. We'll see if it works out today as well. So free cash flow for Amazon, uh, it's this. Right, this was the last 12 months. Right now we're at 13.4 billion, but look at this. 24 was 32, 23 was 32 billion dollars, and if we look at what's expected to happen with it over the next 2 fiscal years, well, fiscal 26, $53 billion in free cash flow, fiscal 27, $84.6 billion in free cash flow. And so, yeah, um, there will come a time where suddenly they flip the switch on the profitability side of it, and things will look very different. Very different there. What's your take on ASML? Yeah, I mean, it's a tremendous company. It's a tremendous company. It is in a cyclical, it's of course, semiconductor equipment makers are by nature cyclical, because if big companies like a Samsung or Intel slow down their investments, ASML takes a hit. Same with Lam Research and all the rest there. But it is a tremendous company, well-run company as well, that has gone up quite a lot. Well, has recovered more recently. It's funny because it happened just after their Mistral investment, which was also came out of nowhere. But okay, European companies now backing themselves up. That's always good. So look at this. Was at 700 start of September, touched actually 1,000 here a couple of days ago. And yeah, of course, the bigger their install base, the bigger the reoccurring revenue is going to be, of course. Evolution AB, is it? Where is it? 700? Huh. My guesses are quite good today. It was lower, it did recover, it went back down. I assume it has to do with some. I do think I've seen a post about someone talking about some other gambling companies not getting regulatory approval in some countries, but Evolution AB was not mentioned in that, which is good. It's still a cheap company. It's still a cheap company. They're still buying back a ton of shares. Not a lot of people like the gaming side of it. I mean, side gaming investments like the synth stocks, but it is cheap. It is cheap. DraftKings took a hit, right? Yasin, take initial investment out and then carrying it with. I mean, the initial investment is already out. What I have right now is the rest, and the rest has gone up significantly. But again, I don't think I should be. I don't think I should be that greedy. What did I want to do? Ah, yeah. DraftKings. Evolution should switch to predictive markets. And they're more in the webcam gaming casino type of thing as well. Ooh, wow. Okay. So DraftKings is down 30% since the high start of September, was extremely oversold here. Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one, right? Because on the one side, gambling has gone up significantly. On the other side, um, there is that threat of right, Robinhood prediction markets, Kalshi Poly market, although they're not regulated right now. So yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Is it related to Hood? It's related to the prediction markets going into sports and all of it. But from what I understand is that most of them have lawsuits going on right now because these things aren't legal in all states or in any states, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's that. Um, what's my worst investment in stocks? Of course. Well, of course, it's in stocks, although sports cards maybe as well, but in stocks. Probably the crap I bought at the height of the pandemic levels. So um, a Teladoc. I used to own a Teladoc. That thing was down for me 60%. I sold, it went down another 60%. So you see, good lesson to be learned here. Lower can always go lower. Um, a good quote or thing that but Teladoc, by the way, we should look at the company again today at these prices and the performance. That there might be something there, but right, two people invest in the same stock. One invested at $50 and the other invested at $5. They're like, yeah, how much more? How much can I lose? Right, you invested 50,000 at 50, the other invested 100,000 and 5. How much can I lose? Right? Well, if it goes to zero, both of you will lose it all. So lesson here as well is that you it's it hurts to take a huge loss at minus 60% or so, but just so you know, when you're down 60%, you can be down another 60%. Right? If I have to zoom out a lot here with this thing. If we do this, this is crazy. Okay, so if we do this, if we look at the top, well, let's say you didn't buy the top, you bought before. Okay, you bought it here. You go down 60%. Okay, you sold here, you were like, oh, you know what, 60%, that's a huge hit. Okay, but if you had held it, well, the stock went down another 90% since then. So you saved yourself from another 90% drawdown. This was one example. I had Fiverr as well, although with Fiverr I lost a lot less than this, but it was also not a great investment. Um, Roku lost some money there, not a great investment at all. Just bought it at prices that did not make any sense, which is why I always go back to 2021, 2022, and I say that things that I owned back then, I don't see them in the portfolio right now. You could say, yeah, the irons, they're also trading at extreme sales multiples. I agree. But I bought them. My average with iron is still very, very low, but I agree. The prices here are extremely expensive, although one co-location deal changes the whole story here. Um, my investment thesis was wrong. Uh, stupid me, plus I overpaid for a lot of it. And Teladoc was a good business, and then that's been run by very, very bad management. That's the thing. You can buy a good business, but if it's run by bad management, it's a bad investment. Bad business, good management could turn out to be a good thing. Um, would you buy again? Well, if the story is interesting again and the financials make sense, then yes. But right now, the stories don't excite me, right? The Teladoc, Fiverr, the growth rates aren't there anymore. Roku, it is a better company actually today, but it's not as, again, previously they were growing quite quickly because of the pandemic. The growth rates have been completely crushed um, since, so it becomes less interesting. But yeah, just because I lost money in a stock doesn't mean I will not come back to the stock if the story is different and if it makes sense. For me, the worst investment was buying Transmedics before the earnings release last October. But indeed, did Transmedics went up? No. I think Transmedics went up because the business has been performing very well for Transmedics. We'll see when they want to pull it up here. TMDX. So last October it dropped. Yeah, and then it bottomed here at 51, 56, tripled almost, and then went back down. But the business has been doing very well. Um, I did talk a little bit about it when it started to recover. I think during the lives because the performance has been much better. The performance has been much better. But yeah, the timing, of course, in this case was a bad one. Yeah. Um, what are the sectors I would never touch? Probably quantum right now. Uh, Quantum, nuclear for now. Um, Genetics, I would say as well. Although I have like a very tiny position in Apcelera, but all the other things probably not. Then the rest, energy. No, I have a small option play for Enphase. That's down already significantly, but it's also for 2027. Um, but no, I mean you could say that iron is also an energy play. Retail, it's not a never touch. It's just a not interesting enough for me. So that's it. I guess. I guess quantum and nuclear for now. eVTOL, yeah, also just because it might be cool, but I just don't believe in it. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Heard rumors Shift 4 is going to the moon. Well, I hope so, no? Where is it? Shift 4. For now, we are not mooning. For now, we are actually chilling on my beautiful line right here. Whether it works out or not, this line thing, I don't know, but the business is cheap. Plus, it has a high short interest for some strange reason. Um, I think I missed here something. Where is the pain pal? Wow, the pain pal is dropping really hard right now. This is not good. The pain pal is okay. Okay, if we close out the week here, I won't be that mad. Pat business is turning around. Not really. At least not just yet. Jarrett is a pilot. Yeah, but Jarrett is not the CEO anymore, which is not a problem. Still owns 25% of the company, of the shares, so that's good. But it would have been great, like when he did not get the NASA job, it would have been great to have him back as CEO. But okay, fine. It is what it is. He's going to the moon. Is he? Or is he just going to space? Because I know like he's a crazy pilot. I've seen some of the videos. But yeah. Do I still own Owlet? I do not. I sold it, I think, a month ago. Where is it actually? Owlet. Because it went up also quite a lot. Do I have to sell my initial iron position? I mean, my initial iron position is quite big, no? It's 900. No, it's 600 shares. The initial one. Then I added 300, and then I added another 100. I don't know. Okay, Owlet is at 9. And I don't even think it's that expensive. I'm still surprised it's not taken private. It's not taken private. But no, I don't own it anymore. If you had to buy one right now between a Rubric and Shift 4, I mean, I get this question every day, and every day I answer the same thing. I own both. I own both, and I bought both this week at the start of the week. So Shift 4 is obviously the cheaper one of the two. But Rubric probably has stronger short-term tailwinds, I would say. Shift 4 still has that Global Blue acquisition integration period going on. Consumer spending, maybe headwinds. So maybe to answer your question, maybe Rubric, but I like Shift 4 a lot, which is again why I own both. Why I own both. Do I think Adobe is undervalued? Yes, I do think so. I do think that it is undervalued. What is Meli doing? If Duolingo is down, every time Duolingo, if the local is down, Meli should be down as well, which it is. 3.3%. Duolingo is down 2.6%. So, do I agree with Tom Lee that this is a new super cycle that will result in 10-year bull market? But we are already in year 3. I've also seen the video that you're talking about right now. Before. We are already in year 3. I actually said yesterday that I think 2 years from now, so in year 5, people will already start asking questions, because he made the comparison with the what did he say? The fiber network, the 4G, 5G story that took God knows how long, and what was it? Things peaked or started peaking at year 8 or something like that, right? With AI and with the speed of things right now, I think people will start asking more questions 2 years from now. So 5 years into this bull market and cycle that started when ChatGPT came out. That's a question for everyone, actually. So Nizar asks here, very curious to see people investing in Berkshire without Warren. It's been without Warren it's with Warren, but Warren has not been the guy for a while now. It is like investing in Tesla without Elon. What's your view? So what's the view of the chat? Let me know. Let me know in the comments as well. My view is it's very, very different, because one is trying to create insane things. The other is just an investment vehicle. So it's very different, very, 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 very different things to look at right now. For a successful Berkshire, you don't really need to reinvent the wheel. Tesla is trying to reinvent wheels, cars, robots, whatever you wanna think of. So it's a bit different. I think it's Tesla without Elon. Because Elon can step down as CEO and still remain as a chief engineer, a bit like SpaceX. It could still work out. Plus, I think Warren Buffett, incredible track record and everything. Yes, he had Apple, tremendous returns there. But they also missed quite a lot, right? And understand he's not going to buy things that he cannot explain and understand. But you are still, you missed a lot. You missed a lot of plays, a lot of huge companies over the last 10 years or so. We have another options question here. I'm up. Well, this person is up 450% on iron. Would you hold or sell a call with an expiry in March 2026? What's the strike price that you have? If I may ask, what's the strike price? But um, because you're asking for yourself, right? Because I don't have the iron options. I have shares of iron. Um, Robin, would you do options on Duolingo? I have shares of Duolingo. Options on it, I don't think it's probably not going to be cheap. That's one. And I don't think, well, you could say, I don't think it's that volatile, although it did go from 260 to 340. But I don't think it's that interesting as an options play, in my opinion. Um, as for the iron question, let me know what your strike price is. But again, I just asked for myself before on the Intel one where I'm up 500 something. So I'm leaning towards selling and buying shares, but an Intel and an iron are not the same. Iron is way more volatile than Intel. Although again, you can say that Intel is also volatile more recently, but at one point the stock will plateau a little bit, and it will be based on, of course, on the fundamentals of the company. And so I'm not expecting 100% moves in a week like we've seen with or in a month like we've seen here with iron consistently. So it's a bit different. I mean, first of all, congrats on the 450% gains here. The strike price is 26. Well, yes, I guess yes, no. If it's 26, we're at 67. Um, you sell, yeah, worst case scenario, it does pull back a lot and you go back in with just shares. Because again, with iron, that 450% can go away very quickly because of the volatility of that stock. So I have shares. I'm not buying more here. Um, I know some people think I should already start selling, although they make very valid points. Um, because it's already a huge position, correct? It has gone up a lot. No, actually, we didn't get any monthly announcement for iron, right? I don't. Let's see. Um, I don't think we have. No, we did not get yet a monthly report from them. So maybe we might get next week. We do have this. So to answer your question, I would say yes, probably. So operating and planned contracted power for key Bitcoin miners. So planned contracted is 2.1 gigawatts for iron, 810 operating power right now. Riot has 1.1, not bad. So this is basically the difference between all of them. Although Applied Digital yesterday told us that they have more than this. They're more than this. CleanSpark right now already at 808 operating power, so maybe there might be a re-rating there. They're going to stop doing the monthly report. Okay, but it's a shame. It is a shame. It is a shame. But okay, this is what we got right now as of news. Okay, other than that, Um, CoreWeave insiders sold $1 billion post IPO as AI reached cash out. Okay, I mean we've seen the stock drop after the lockup period, and then the stock did recover quite a lot. So there is that. And that's it. I think we don't have that much news right now. We do have more red than green currently. SoFi is green, CoreWeave is green, Intel is green, Iron is green, Nebius is green. Every volatile thing is green here. So that's good. PayPal is not. PayPal is down 1.7. Zeta 2%, the local 3.3. And Rubrik and Shift 4 also down around 1% or so. So, yes. I didn't check that. Oh, no, I did check it. But did we... Let's see. Yeah, no, we talked about that yesterday. The pricing of the convertible debt, convertible notes offering, yeah, that. Yeah, no, good deal, I would say. Good deal. Of course, if it doesn't perform, then yes, then they'll have to pay it. And they have to find the cash to do it. But it is a good, the terms are good. The terms are good. Raymond is up 1,150% on Iron. Congratulations. Congratulations. My plan is, you are correct. You are correct. I actually forgot that we went up so quickly. But I'm still down 1.2% on it. I think at one point when it was I think yesterday or so, I was in the green again. But like I said before, I went into it too quickly, so I do want to reduce the dollar amount in that position and keep the rest. But yeah, I'm still down 1.2%. It's not that big of a deal, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's the plan, to reduce a bit that exposure, and again, just probably focus on growing Shift 4, Rubrik, and probably Oscar as well now. Probably Oscar as well. For Shift 4, what price would you buy more heavily in? Yeah, so I already, again, I bought again this week. So as a percent of the overall portfolio, it is still small. Shift 4 is 2.3. I have 120 shares, so it's $9,500 right now. Again, we are not that far from the price I'm buying, so I'll accumulate over time. So the next, yeah, I am still waiting for a good normal explanation, but I don't think I will ever get an answer, if I'm being honest. Is it clever to buy more PayPal calls now, or should you wait for a bigger pullback before earnings? I mean, why are you like this? Why do we need a bigger pullback? What is this? We don't need a bigger pullback. We actually don't need a pullback at all for PayPal. But now, if we have a pullback, like let's say if it does drop back under the 200-day here and we do go back to 70, I'll probably load up on more leaps because it just, again, to me, it doesn't make any sense. The price of PayPal today, it's just extremely undervalued. I went over everything, all of it, with Emir this week during a live stream. If you didn't watch that, well, go watch the live stream. So, yeah, we don't need a pullback for PayPal. We actually need it to go up more because it doesn't make that much sense. But then again, we have time. We have time. The next earnings report, I think, will be a good one. And so, Iron stopped the monthly reports. Yeah, I figured. I figured that's why. So yeah, that's about it. Actually, let me show you before we end the current heat map. The watch list looks worse than this. Um, unless of yeah, unless you own. If you don't own Applied Digital, Rocket Lab, Iron, Nebius, CoreWeave, and SoFi, I guess today is not the best of the days, or Cypher or Hive or whatever. But let's be honest, we are still close to all-time highs, and most of us are still making quite a lot of monies. Quite a lot of monies. So, with that said, um, I think I'll sell the Intel options, cash in, sleep better, and then probably open a shares position, smaller than the options, but just to keep the Intel in the portfolio, and then the rest will probably just flow into the cash pile. As for PayPal, not doing anything because I just explained why. The Pagaya one, not doing anything with that either. What else? The end phase, obviously not, and that's about it. That's about it for me. All the rest, of course, if something changes from now until the end of the trading day, you'll know probably if you follow the portfolio or you just wait until Sunday's portfolio episode. But that's about it. There is a video coming out pretty soon about Mercado Libre and bookings. A very interesting video. So stay tuned for that. Have a great rest of your Friday and a wonderful weekend.